Yes guys, welcome to how to get the cheapest football shirts in 2021. Yes, so this video is going to cover how you can get football shirts for cheap in 2021. Say for example, you want that brand new Ajax shirt, but you don't want to spend £70 on it. This video is going to talk you through how you can get that shirt and every new shirt for cheaper than what they're listed for throughout the season. We're also going to cover how you can get classic and retro shirts for cheap as well. We're going to cover everything. Also, before we get any further into this, be sure to like the video. The more likes this video gets, the more it helps the YouTube algorithm, the more people that will see this video, and the more people that will save money on football shirts. And also, the more views this gets, the more money I make. We all win. We're all winners. Other than Italy, am I right? Just to be clear, I'm filming this the day before the Euro 2020 final. So, that's either gone really well or really badly. Anyway, let's get straight into this, starting with new shirts. Everyone always says to me, Ellis, have you seen this new shirt release? Ellis, this new shirt looks amazing. And obviously, I agree. Like, my house has been taken over by shirts at this point. Anything that's got a football badge on it at this point, I'm like, that's lovely. But the issue with getting shirts when they first come out is 99% of these shirts are just not going to sell out anyway. It benefits you to wait. You don't have to have the newest shirt straight away. I think we've got to a point now in the shirt space where it actually looks decent to wear the older shirts as well. So there's no rush for anyone. No one's going to think you're like, he looks cool, he's got the new shirt. Just be patient and wait. My first tip, and I'm aware this sounds really obvious, but shop around. If you see a shirt you want and it's listed on loads of different retailers, say for example, we'll use that Ajax away shirt again as an example, it's going to be listed on every major seller that sells football shirts. So shop around on these sites. Most sites will do discount codes at some point. For example, as you can see on screen right now, if you wanted to get the Ajax away shirt currently, you can use this 20% discount code that Kitbag are currently running, and you'd be able to pick it up for 56 instead of 70. And that shirt's only been out a few weeks. So you can imagine how much better the discounts get as the season goes on. Also worth noting that it's not just Kitbag who do discount codes. Loads of sites do discount codes throughout the season. A lot of you will see Kitbag come up on Twitter and Instagram. This is because they use a lot of affiliates compared to other sites. So just bear that in mind. Just because Kitbag are doing a discount right now, you could probably still pick it up cheaper as the season goes on. As I said, you could currently save 20% on that shirt. But as the season goes on, you're going to be able to pick up even bigger discounts, and the first massive sale is obviously Black Friday. Pretty much every retailer last season did at least a 25 or 30% discount on all of their items, so please bear that in mind too. If you can hold off till November, you're almost certainly going to save up to at least 30% on the shirt you want. The reason that football shirts become more discounted throughout the season is because they are mass produced. There's millions upon millions of certain shirts made every season, and retailers and clubs both know that the start of a season and a new shirt release is when they can make the most profit on a shirt, because that's when the fans of a club, maybe a few people, have a bit of FOMO and they rush and get the shirt too. But they still have these millions of shirts as the season goes on, and they're like, we can't shift these. So that's when the discounts come into play, starting with Black Friday. But as the season continues to go on, and these shirts still aren't shifting, also bear in mind, clubs now have a home, away, a third, and a fourth kit. These shirts are just going to be so cheap. A good example of this last season is the PSG fourth shirt came out. The pink one, it's an amazing shirt. You can see it on screen. I've been very complimentary over it. Within 3 weeks, it was half price because they realised, we've got 4 shirts to sell here, along with an entire collection. And this is where the biggest savings can be made, the end of season sales. When it gets to the end of the season and clubs and retailers are beginning to try and prepare their new shirt releases, they have all these old shirts from the season before, and some of the sales on them are absolutely ridiculous. A good example for this is Nike. I've been very vocal about this in the past. I think Nike are currently the best company making football shirts. Their designs are great. The way they fit are great. I just think Nike are leading the way. And if you remember on the Nike app, not only do you get 20% off on your birthday month, also when it comes to the end of season sale, they put loads of shirts and football items into their sale. And also from time to time, which is even better, when it comes to their end of season sale, they'll also then whack an extra 25% off sale items from time to time as well, meaning you can get some of these shirts ridiculously cheap. This applies to other manufacturers, of course, like Adidas, Puma, New Balance. All of them will be doing it because they're ready for the new season. Just Nike are a great example because there's been times, and it's very commonplace, you can save up to 60% on the original retail price of a shirt, and all you have to do is wait a few months. Speaking of Nike and Adidas, actually, a great way to get cheap shirts is if you have a Nike or Adidas factory outlet store near you. That's where they go with loads of shirts as well. There's football items in there, and usually these are around £19 to £40, which is obviously much cheaper than their RRP. So if you have one of them stores near you, for example, I live near Norwich, there's one there. I'll always go in there from time to time because very often there'll be dirt cheap football shirt stuff in there. So something to consider as well. If you have a Nike or Adidas and they're called factory outlet stores or just outlet stores, be sure to check them out too because there's some amazing deals in them. Also, I know I've mentioned this in the past, but both classic football shirts and vintage football shirts do have new shirts listed on their site. Always come at end of a season, they'll have loads of shirts from retailers. They go onto their site and they're always cheaper than the original listing price too. So be sure to go onto classic shirts, for example, and click their new shirts tab and just see which shirts appear there as well, because there's always either some really obscure ones or some really cool shirts too. So something to bear in mind there. And as I mentioned in the previous video, M&M Direct also are fully legit and have some really cheap football shirts on there too. Finally, on the new shirt topic, and it's by far and away my most asked question, Ellis, but how do I avoid buying fake shirts? And my simple advice is for this right now, the most easy way I can put it, if you go onto a website and they have every new shirt possible and they're all around £30, just avoid it. It's like 99% of them are going to be fake. In fact, 100% of them are going to be fake. But also, I'll make an updated video on how to spot fake shirts as well, because it's probably about time I did that with more detailed and concrete information. Anyway, let's move on to the classic and retro shirts. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how amazing this Bielsa era Argentina sweatshirt is? Does it fit me? No, it doesn't. It doesn't fit me. But the shoe didn't fit the Ugly Sisters, and they got to... I don't know where that was going. My first tip for classic and retro football shirts is AwayDaysFootballShirts.com for the best and cheapest football shirts. Couldn't even say it with a straight face. My first tip would be to check out the football shirt communities on Instagram and Twitter, and also be sure to check out any football shirt Facebook groups there are too. These are the places you're going to pick up reliable football shirts for cheap from people who are in the football shirt community, because it benefits people in the community to help out other people in the community. So I know it's a very simple tip, but this is a place where you'll pick up some absolute gold for cheaper than you would elsewhere. When it comes to classic and retro stuff, when you want to talk about what apps to use, Depop and Vinted are great. You can pick up some really cheap stuff on there. I just personally can't flat out recommend them because they're still littered with fakes, and Depop especially have no interest in trying to stop people from doing it. They get their fee from it and they can let people sell fakes and they still take their 10%. So I would say if you're wanting to avoid fakes and you don't really know how to, I would personally avoid Depop. The fee percentage argument doesn't really apply to Vinted though, because it's free to list on there and they don't take any fees. But once again, I've seen several fakes on there too. On the note of Depop as well, another downside of it is the massive overpricing of so many shirts. Take a look at some of these England stuff, for example. It's genuinely hilarious. Like, how do people think they're getting this for the items? On the note of England and international team shirts in general, if you want a shirt from a national team for a tournament, buy it months in advance. You'll save so much money. When a tournament comes round, using England as an example, a £20 England shirt genuinely becomes around £50 to £60 because people think, I need to wear an England shirt to the pub, I need to wear an England shirt to the game or the fan zone. So they rush out and they FOMO and they get one. Get one before a tournament starts. You'll save yourself money and you'll save yourself the hassle of trying to rush out and get one. My favourite site that's similar to Vinted and Depop, and it's going to annoy a few people that don't want this site being shared in the UK, is a site called Grailed. Obviously, it comes with the same negatives as both Vinted and Depop. However, it's based in the US. And US shirt collectors are still a thing, but the space is nowhere near as big for soccer in America as it is over here. And in turn, you can get some stuff really cheap. And there's also some really unique stuff because there's Asian and American markets on there too. Like, it's genuinely a great platform. And there's also a built-in offer feature, whereas on Depop, for example, you have to message someone saying, would you take £15? On Grailed, you don't. You just send an offer and you wait for their response. And I've also found that people accept offers that are much lower than what they've listed it for. And also you need to bear in mind the conversion rate between the pound and the dollar. A lot of the stuff genuinely does work out. Generally, I've used the wrong word. A lot of the stuff generally does work out a lot cheaper, bearing in mind, even though you have to pay the shipping, if you can get a good offer in, you can save a lot of money on classic and retro shirts, sweatshirts, and jackets just by checking out Grailed. I know sometimes people say these things and don't provide any proof, but please see on screen items that I've personally picked up on Grailed and how much I spent. Finally, my best tip, and this is always going to be my best tip to get cheap, retro, and classic football shirts, is eBay. I have spoken about why I love using eBay and my tips and tricks for it in several videos, so here is a short, quick rundown of my tips for eBay. 1. Search football shirt in the search bar. 2. Go to newly listed and select buy it now. Scroll through the first few pages, and if there's a shirt you want, great. If there's not a shirt you want, refresh the page every 5 or 10 minutes. If you keep doing this for long enough and you're persistent, I guarantee you a shirt that you like will appear. Alternatively, go over to auction and go to ending soonest and try and snipe shirts as they appear, running out at the end of their auctions. You can pick up some great deals here too. My best tip for this is wait till the end of an auction to bid. If you bid early, it's going to let people know you're interested in an item. It's going to drive the price up. Wait till the end and be patient. An eBay auction is going to be there whether you've bid on it or not. So be patient and bid at the very end. Another tip, misspell football shirt in as many creative ways as possible. This way you can find listings that have been listed wrong, and it's once again a great way to pick up shirts for cheap because people have messed up their listing. And finally, if you get a shirt arrived that is either fake or doesn't match the condition that the seller listed it as, you're well within your right to return it and get a full refund due to the fact that eBay offers buyer protection. My final tip to get both retro and new football shirts is the comment section of this video. I've always said I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world about football shirts. The comment section is where the really knowledgeable people will also be. So be sure to go down there. I'm sure there's going to be some people sharing their tips and tricks as well. Be sure to check out the comment section because there's some genuinely really useful people in there, amongst the people that talk about the spot on my face, or talk about the fact I haven't hit puberty yet, or talk about the fact they want to sleep with my girlfriend. In between there's some useful information. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. If you're new around here and you want to subscribe for more football shirt content, please do, because the longer I can do a job where I talk about football shirts, the better my life will be. Thanks for watching. I've been Ellis. See you soon for more football shirt content. Ciao, ciao. Bye.